Say he hasn't fought the best guys just yet.
I think that's a little bit unfair, you know, simply for the reason as he's beaten guys like Matthew Macklin, who's a world-rated guy. Macklin's, you know, beaten world-rated guys himself. He's also, you know, gone on to destroy guys like Curtis Stevens, who's a puncher himself in his own credit. So he has beaten top guys and deserves credit.
I'll cut you off there, Tony. Let's get straight to the first of our live action stateside. British interest in this one. Globe-trotting Londoner Ola Afolabi looking to work his way towards another title shot with a 10-rounder at cruiserweight against American Anthony Caputo Smith. Commentary from Nick Halling and Matthew Macklin after our MC Larry Legend completes the introductions.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, fighting out of Kennett Square, PA, wearing the black boxing trunks, fighting with a record of 15-3 with 10 knockouts, weighing in at 199 1/4 pounds. This is Anthony Caputo Smith. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, hailing from London, England, wearing the black trunks with the Union Jack and other green and white decorative pieces. Fighting with a record of 23, 4 draws, and 9 knockouts, weighing in at 198 1/2 pounds. This is Ola Afolabi.
Gentlemen, you were given your instructions at the weigh-in. Please obey my commands, respect the bell, and above all, protect yourself at all times. Trunks are good, touch gloves. God bless you both.
This one is scheduled for 10 rounds. Ola Afolabi, we know him well. Love the description of the shorts. I think you'll have to come in, Matt, with some green and white decorative pieces on your shorts one of these days. And a guy that I saw a few months ago, Matt, Anthony Caputo Smith, was boxing at light heavyweight, looked absolutely terrible physically against Shawnee Monahan and was bombed out in 3. Physically looks a completely different person at 200 pounds. And Tony Bellew will tell you what a difference that makes. And Caputo Smith has said, he's on record as saying, no way do I beat this fella with my skills. I'm going to have to turn it into a brawl, maybe even make it a dirty fight. And Smith has certainly come out looking ready to throw some bombs here.
Yeah, he's come out full of zip, plenty of aggression early on.
And that might make this for a good fight, because Ola, if there's one criticism people have of him, he does sometimes just switch off a little bit and go through the motions. He can be really exciting and explosive, as we saw against Terry Dunstan. And as we saw against Valerie Brudov, he got rid of him in 5 rounds. And again, Tony Bellew will tell you how tough Brudov is, but he can just sort of jog along a little bit. But I don't think he's going to be able to do that if Caputo Smith is able to keep this up. Nice body shot there from Afolabi, but Smith not backing off, looking to engage and really get stuck in here.
Yeah, sometimes Afolabi can drop to the level of that position. He can have a sparring partner mentality at times, but there's no doubt he has ability, and he can really bang when he lets that right hand go.
Smith catching some left hands there early. He is open, and if he does continue with this, Afolabi made him miss badly there. He's getting marks around the face here, Smith, and a couple of nice stinging jabs getting in there. But he's still chugging away here. Got a left to the body, Caputo Smith, but he's marking up badly around the face. But it's obvious what the strategy is. He's just going to try and get involved, rough him up, Afolabi, if he possibly can, and get him out of there early. And Afolabi's getting caught with some punches now. This is a fast start.
Because Afolabi can be lazy at times and wins that sparring partner mentality, I think the more aggressive the opponent, you know, the better we'll see him fight. Nice uppercut there.
Well, he can't be lazy against this fella. They're both landing some really solid punches in this opening session. Oh, nice uppercut. Afolabi followed up with the jab as well. Body shot, whipping in. And that is the thing with Caputo Smith. He is there to be tagged.
Yeah, you can see the difference in class of the punches landing, though. Caputo Smith, it's all aggression, it's all work rate, he's throwing plenty, but nothing landing of any quality, where Afolabi tends to tuck up, take his time and pick, you know, some really quality singles, particularly with the right uppercut.
Fleshy around the midsection, Afolabi. Caputo Smith, excuse me. Afolabi, in contrast, in really good physical shape, as he always seems to be.
Hands are free.
And again, good body shot. But Afolabi can't discourage this fella. He keeps coming. But again, Afolabi looking to target the midsection. Caputo Smith is a little bit soft.
How it feels to chew 5 gum. Mouth-watering watermelon flavor sensation as you chew. 5 gum. Stimulate your senses.
Move behind your jabs. Move your jabs. Keep moving forward. You look good, man. All right? Put your punches in. He got nothing for free. No power, none of that.
Well, they're giving him the big spiel here. Anthony Caputo Smith saying how good he looked. He certainly went off and got Ola Afolabi's attention. Whether he actually hurt Ola at any point is another story, because Ola looked comfortable and relaxed on his stool. But it certainly made for an entertaining first 3 minutes. The big question here is, how long can Caputo Smith keep this going? Because he can't surely last much longer, especially with Afolabi looking to try and get rid of him right here. That's a barrage coming through.
Yeah, him being really aggressive could be the worst thing he's doing. He's just walking straight into Afolabi, and Afolabi can punch. You can see he's trying to wind that right uppercut up.
Oh, look at that uppercut. He's too easy to target. No head movement at all from Caputo Smith, and his face is getting sliced up here. And again, Afolabi just turning it into a hook. And this is going to end painfully for Caputo Smith. You can sense it.
Yeah, I don't see this lasting too long, Nick. I think the more aggressive Caputo Smith is, the worse beating he's going to get. I think Afolabi now is really fancying the job.
And these are solid, hurtful punches he's pinging in there.
See, I think Caputo Smith's in a bit of a catch-22 situation. If he stands back, he gets the head peppered off him with the jab. If he steams in and rushes in on Afolabi, he's going to eat right uppercuts and big body shots. So it's, what does he do?
Well, he's a lot more circumspect after being so gung-ho in the first few seconds of this, and then just walking onto that blitz of left hands from Afolabi. He's been LA-based since 2000, went over as a fairly young man. Said it was the best thing he ever did, got out of trouble in London. Now Caputo Smith maybe have taken a breather and coming back for a bit more. And he's going to get body shots for his pains. That left eye is a mess. And Afolabi, I suppose... that was a bit better from Caputo Smith, but Afolabi wasn't bothered at all and responded immediately.
Yeah, they both landed left hooks at the same time, but Afolabi's had a lot more meat behind it.
Oh, and then it's whipping it in. So fast, so clinical, Afolabi, but Caputo Smith is really impressing and winning over this crowd because he's gritting his teeth and digging in.
Well, he's certainly having a go.
And he's taking a beating in this round, Matthew, and he's showing real guts here.
Yeah, gutsy display, and you'd have to believe him when he's... Oh, lovely left uppercut there from Afolabi. Classy punch.
Almost painful to watch at times, how easy it is for Afolabi just to thud those shots in. Hooks, uppercuts, straight, hard, hurtful jabs. And Smith's walking onto all of them.
Yeah, I was going to say that I'd nearly believe him that he was dead at the weight, at light heavy. He got stopped in 3 rounds by Shawnee Monaghan down at light heavyweight. And, he's took some meaty punches here from Afolabi, who can bang. So, lovely left hook to the body again. So I'd probably believe him that he was dead at the weight at light heavyweight.
Oh, yeah, no question about that. All these cruisers saying they're dead at light heavy.
I need a doctor. I need a doctor. Where's the doctor?
Well, you heard referee Steve Smoger there saying, get the doctor in, we need to look at that because it's horrible.
Yeah, it's a nasty enough cut. Probably get a better look at it now when the doctor pulls away. But
yeah, it's a bad one.
place.
It really is a bad one. But honestly, how he stood up to this onslaught from Afolabi, especially with the left hands, but that's right getting. In fact, everything. It's just Afolabi can't miss him.
No, Afolabi was landing beautiful punches, left uppercuts, right uppercuts, body shots, really finding the gaps. He's seen Red the Riot Act, but I'm not sure what they want him to do more than what he hasn't already been doing. He's really giving it his all, and he's just eating uppercuts off Afolabi.
No, he's put everything into it. Steve Smoger sending both men to a neutral corner.
Time, Cass.
And then lets them continue. Okay, there we go, whatever. Round 3 of this 10-rounder at cruiserweight. Ola Afolabi finding it very, very easy going at the moment against a guy that's come to give it his all, but is not in his league in terms of skills. And you've got to give Caputo Smith credit. He said this beforehand. He said, I'm not going to beat him on skills. I've got to just turn this into a brawl, make it as rough as I possibly can. That's my only chance. And he's tried to do that.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 for effort, but he just...
Oh, that's not bad either.
I think lacks the ability that Afolabi has.
And I don't think he's got... Sorry, man. I don't think he's got the power to trouble Afolabi either.
No, and Afolabi's very good at tucking up and taking out the shots on the shoulders and on the gloves.
Again, just thudding his way through, mixing it up, picking him off at will. And Smith there to be hit. Oh, dear, oh dear. Finally, it had to happen. It had to happen.
3, 4, 5.
Well, this is called going out on your shield, isn't it? Because he's pouring everything he's got into it. But Afolabi just breaking him up. He's up at 9. Steve Smoger is the referee.
I think he's going to stop him here. I think he'll stop him here. That was a meaty right uppercut that caught with.
Look at this, though. He's not going to go easy, but the legs have turned to rubber as well.
Oh, he's on his way out here, I think.
And there's a lot of referees would have stopped this already, and it's just too easy. I'm getting a little bit too uncomfortable to watch now as well.
Yeah, and still well over a minute left in the round. You know, I think if Afolabi really puts his foot to the floor, he can get Caputo Smith out of here. I'd like to see him show that bit of killer instinct. Sometimes in his career he hasn't always done that. I'd like to see him, you know, show that bit of killer instinct and finish the job here. Well, you just took the words out of my mouth, because you saw him there. He was hurt, up at 9. His legs were unsteady, and Afolabi's just settled down and said, OK, and then picks another shot and then switches to the body as well. Missed with the big right hand. Well, who knows? Maybe Smith can get through this round somehow.
Hey, don't punch, step. Step, Anthony. Step, Anthony.
Afolabi on most people's rankings, still Britain's #1 cruiserweight. For that trilogy of fights with Marco Huck. And again, forcing Smith back. Body shots, then uppercuts, and he's all over the place. And this really needs to be stopped, because this guy is brave and courageous and needs Steve Smoger to get him out of there. And I think...
Saved by the bell, Nick, I think.
Well, really, it should be stopped. And there goes the bell.
That's it. Come on, stop it. Come up here. All right, we're going to stop it.
Yeah, I think common sense is prevailing here.
David, the doctor just called me.
And the doctor has officially called it. Well, Ola Afolabi, it was interesting and engaging, but an opponent that really just got his attention, but just didn't have the skills or the power to bother him.
No, he gave it everything he had. You know, 10 out of 10 for effort. He really put it on, Afolabi, if you like. But Afolabi clever, tucks up, nice, picks his shots. Combination he loves throwing, was touching him to the head with the left hook and then really banging it into the body. And you know, he took some big body shots there, as well as the uppercuts. That right uppercut that dropped him from the first knockdown, that was a heavy punch, and he did well to get up from it. Showed a lot of guts and grit, but you know, in the end, Afolabi's class was too much. Glad it got stopped when it did.
Yeah, it needed to be. It needed it. Yeah, you don't like to see that. So, Ola Afolabi just sending out a little message there. Tony who? Nathan who? I'm the #1 cruiser in the UK, and here's the proof once again.
Great fights to see, you know, Cleverly, Tony Bellew, looks like they're on a collision course, they're going to fight each other, but I mean, the winner of that, Afolabi, what a great fight that'd be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Bellew and Cleverly, with no disrespect to Caputo Smith, would provide a rather stiffer test for Ola Afolabi, but one that we would like to see, as you say, maybe somewhere down the road. But take nothing away for this fella.
No, he gave it everything, but Afolabi, class operator, and I actually think that the likes of a Tony Bellew or a Nathan Cleverly would probably bring the best out in Afolabi, and there'd be mouth-watering clashes for sure.
Well, he had those 3 tilts at Marco Huck. Never quite managed to get over the line. So close. Maybe there is another attempt, a world title shot somewhere down the road for Ola. Just the talk with Tony and Nathan is they meet obviously in November, with the winner going on to a world title shot. The WBC route is the one that's whispered. Krzysztof Ladarczyk rules there. But Ola letting everybody know, still plenty left in his tank. 34 years old. And he's still ranked highly around the place, you know. #3 with the IBF. They don't have a 1 or a 2. Make of that what you will. And he's got a top 15 ranking with the WBC. So interesting times for British cruiserweights. It's been a while since we've said that.
Yeah, and of course, Ola Afolabi's been based in the States for so long, and then he was a sparring partner with the Klitschko. They kind of took him under their wing, and he's boxed on their undercards, where he's a little bit out of the limelight as opposed to, say, Nathan Cleverly and Tony Bellew. The spotlight's very much been on them two. But I think Afolabi, you know, he certainly has experienced, those fights with Marco Huck. He's been in, some big fights himself. So, I'd love to see him get in the mix with both those guys.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll see a bit more of this fella as well somewhere down the road. It was a courageous effort. And it was really simple what his strategy was. I'm going to try and just rough him up and bomb him out of there. And when that didn't work, he was always in for a pasting, and I'm afraid that's exactly what he got.
Yeah, he come out firing all cylinders, but from Afolabi's point of view, it was very much a case of just weather the early storm, and eventually the class will prevail, and that's what happened in the fight.
And the one thing I think we can both guarantee, Matt, we are not going to see Anthony Caputo Smith at light heavyweight again anytime soon.
Oh, that's for sure. And in fairness to him, you'd have to say, based on that performance as opposed to comparing it to the Shawnee Monaghan performance, it's fair to say he probably was dead at the weight at light heavyweight. So, it's good to see him up a cruiser where he looks a lot more healthy and has a lot more vigor and a lot more snap in his punches. Yeah, he lost tonight, but, against a good fighter, he can come again.
Ladies and gentlemen, the decision at the end of the 3rd round under doctors' decisions. This bout has been awarded as a result of TKO to the red corner, Ola Afolabi.
So Afolabi moves onwards and upwards. Analysis